Now, when we talk about engagement, we usually talk about it as it has two parts. The first has been cleverly labeled level one. Level one engagement is when you and I as leaders get to decide who joins the team. And the importance of this can't really be overstated, and you know how important this is. You know what happens when you get the right person, and you know what happens when you get the wrong person. This was really driven home to me a few years ago by Peter Drucker. Some of you know Dr. Drucker. Some think the greatest management and leadership guy of the last 500 years. Drucker was 183 at the time. He was too old to stand, and so they had him seated on a desk in front of this large hall. And he finished his prepared remarks, and quite to the delight and the surprise of the group, Dr. Drucker opened the floor for questions. A courageous young man stepped to a microphone, and he said, "Dr. Drucker, what's the most important decision that a leader makes?" And it appeared as though no one had ever asked this question before. So Dr. Drucker sat there, a little slumped over, a little further, bowed his head, and he sat there. People thought he died. And then he began to straighten up, and you could feel it in the room. People said, "He's going to speak." Who does what? What's the most important decision that you and I make as leaders? Dr. Drucker summarized it as who does what. It's simple and it's so profound. That's what level one engagement is about, when you and I get to decide who's going to join our team. But that's just the first part of the process. Then there's level two, which is actually more challenging. In level two, you and I have the opportunity as leaders to create an environment in which people will willingly invest themselves fully. Let me say that again. We get to create an environment in which people will willingly invest themselves fully. That sounds pretty challenging, doesn't it? I mean, we're still back on, if we can get them to show up in uniform, we've won. This is a big step. This is a leap. This is not about hired hands. This is not about people that do just what they're told when they're told. This is when, because of the things that we do to create that environment, folks are transformed from hired hands to a state where we get their head and their heart as well. And when you've got the head, the heart, and the hands, you know, you've really got something then. Now, some of you are thinking, I'm not sure. Is it really worth the energy? Is it really worth the effort? Ultimately, our people determine our level of success.